Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside Purple Raiders Sit Down here on 91.1 WRMU. We are just minutes away from kickoff at Dial-Roberson Stadium in Ada, Ohio, as the Purple Raiders get set to take on the Polar Bears of Ohio Northern. But beforehand, we've got an interview with a Mount Union Purple Raider, and that is with Ernie Burkes. Ernie, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Joe. It's good to be here.
Thank you, Ernie. And, first to just kick things off, looking at last week's 54-0 win against Heidelberg, you had a huge carry to cap off the scoring with a 54-yard touchdown run. Talk about that play and how the offense performed so well against Heidelberg.
The offense, we had a flow going the whole game, which was awesome. That's what we've kind of been working for and striving for every week in practice, to have a consistent game going. And I think we did that Saturday. My carry, the linemen just opened it up for me. Receivers got downfield, got on their blocks, and I just carried it to the end zone. So kudos to my linemen.
So, Ernie, first, we saw you in game action in Otterbein, where you were utilized as a Wildcat quarterback at the time. You were lined up at the depth chart as a wide receiver. You had great success in that game, 7 carries for 35 yards and a touchdown. We've seen you more move into a quarterback role for the Purple Raiders. You have had great success on the ground. Can you go in depth in how Coach Karras and the offense is using you this season?
This season I came in and they knew I was a pretty decent athlete. They knew I could run pretty fast compared to most guys. So coming into the season, they were kind of feeling me out. They tried me at receiver, tried me at quarterback, tried me on special teams returning. And I think they finally just found my niche on the team, which was get between the tackles and run the ball hard.
It's been a great niche for you so far this season. And looking at this season, Ernie, so far you've rushed 21 times for 259 yards and 5 touchdowns this season. Talk about your 2018 season. What have been a few of the takeaways that you've had throughout the year?
This is a big learning process for me. This is my first big varsity time and important time. So honestly, it's just getting used to the speed of the game. And every week I think I've been becoming accustomed to that, which is it's awesome for me. And really, it's just every practice, every day, every film session, just listen to coach, the advice he gives me, and just sticking to my rules.
And so, Ernie, you played here your freshman year back at Mount back in 2014. You played in 5 games, playing under Kevin Burke, who was a Ghilardi winner in 2014. Talk about your freshman year at Mount Union playing football.
Freshman year was the best learning experience in my life, playing behind Kevin Burke, just learning how to pick apart defenses and learning from all those guys like Roman Namdar, Lally, all those men.
A lot of big names.
Yeah, they taught me how to man up a little bit, and they taught me how to play some football. So that was definitely an important year for me, learning-wise.
So, Ernie, looking at your high school career, you were a 4-sport athlete. That is almost unheard of nowadays. What is even more impressive is that you were very successful at all the sports that you did play through your time in high school, an all-Whitfield athlete in Western PA. Talk about your high school career and how you were able to juggle 4 sports.
I had really good coaching. I had really good support. My parents were always there for me. I had some of the best teammates I could ever ask for. They're still my friends today. I was just blessed with a really good community that had my back all the way.
So, Ernie, you took some time off from the game after your freshman year. Talk about that period between 2015 and now being back with the Purple Raiders.
My grades were suffering. I was suffering. It was on me. I couldn't figure it out. So I went back home to Westminster College, which is actually in my hometown. I got my grades up. I figured out how to do the whole college thing, and I was excited to come back and show these guys what I got. So
Ernie, before we move forward, you played at Westminster in baseball. I guess talk about that transition. 2 different sports between football and baseball. What did you play in baseball, and what did you take away from your experience at Westminster?
Baseball, I played middle infield, but like you said, I was a 4-sport athlete, so I think playing college baseball actually helped me with the hand-eye coordination in football. So, playing baseball was a great experience, and I was also working on football while I was playing baseball. So
that's good. And Ernie, you play with D'Angelo Fulford now, who has established himself as one of the best in Division III football. While playing and practicing with Fulford, and experience of playing with Kevin Burke, are there any similarities that you have seen between the 2 quarterbacks?
The leadership. Every time he comes on the field, he's ready to go. He's excited to go. he's making sure everyone else is ready to go. I mean, he comes out and D'Angelo's on the field. He's a really good presence, and I really respect that man, and I listen to everything he says.
So, Ernie, we've talked about your high school career. So take me back to 2014 while you're still in high school, picking out colleges. How'd you find your way to come here to Mount Union?
Honestly, I didn't even know what Mount Union was. I was visiting a few Division III schools, and then I came up here and I saw in the locker room it said God Family Football, and Coach Karras told me, hey, you're going to have to work for your spot. It's not given to you. And I just loved everything they presented to me, so that's why I decided to come here.
Before we get into the game today against Ohio Northern here, Ernie, there are 3 games remaining before the playoffs hit. What is the mindset now during practices with this team?
Keep grinding, keep focused. I mean, we go into practice, there's no let up. There's no like, hey, take it easy today. It's use your technique, go full force, and make it hard during the week so Saturdays are easier.
So, Ernie, let's look at the Polar Bears from Ohio Northern. What will be the keys of victory today against the Polar Bears?
Consistency. We got to run the ball consistently, and we got to hit the open guy on our passes, and all week we've been doing that. They're really good competition. Everyone we play in the OAC is really good competition, so we want to play as hard as we can and learn from our mistakes.
Now, Ernie, with your time playing football, whether it's at Mount Union or high school ball, has there been any mentors along the way that have helped you win the sport and helped you out on the field?
In football, Coach Bonjavinga, my man back home, was my quarterback coach. The coaches usually let me have free reign and let me go do what I wanted, but that man really made sure I was a structured quarterback and a structured athlete and made sure I was doing right in the classroom. So I would say Coach Bonjavinga was a very big help for me.
That's very good. And as we move along here, Ernie, we've seen you on the field progress so much ever since that Otterbein game. You have some of the fast, I would say one of the fastest players for this Purple Raider offense. Do you know what your 40 time is?
I never really paid attention to that, and honestly, if you put me in a race against someone, I would probably lose because that's not my thing, but you put me on a football field, it's just a whole different gear for me.
All righty, Ernie, last question for you. Are there any pregame routines that you must take care of before heading into a game?
Pray. Say a prayer to the man upstairs, let everyone play their best, and let everyone leave the game healthy, so that's definitely my ritual.
So that's going to wrap it up on Purple Raider Sit Down this week. We are just moments away from Ohio Northern as the Purple Raiders get set to take on Ohio Northern. Thank you to Ernie Burkes as he gets set to take on the Polar Bears. Keep it locked into 91.1 for all the game action